Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Merry Christmas. I hope your week has been good. I hope your weekend is going to be better. Well, it's kind of weird, isn't it? Christmas Eve and being on a Sunday and Christmas Day being on a Monday, it's kind of like, well, it jives with my schedule. So I hope everybody's weekend has been okay. I hope your Christmas has been okay so far. I hope you got your presents that you wanted. Hope you saw the people that you wanted to see. I hope that if you are celebrating tomorrow, like I am, that your day turns out well. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, this morning, we're going to do, well, it's going to be a spotlight on the Mr. Manticore. I've been waiting for some of his material to accumulate so that I could do a large chunk at one time. And we have we got a bunch of stuff to go through. So this is the Gnome Show. I am Josh, your humble host, and this is the Mr. Manticore Power Hour. Before we get started, and because this is the only video I'm going to make tonight, tomorrow I will be on stream at some point. I got to throw the ham in the oven and see where everything is, but I'm going to be on stream throughout the day, and when I'm not on stream, I'm going to put the playlist on for you guys to catch up on things that you might not have seen, or just to see some of the stuff from the beginning. Maybe see some of the short films that you haven't seen yet. There's a lot in there, but I'll have that going on stream when I'm not at my desk. But when I am in, we'll be doing some live short film recordings. So yeah, look forward to that. Yeah, let's observe tradition real quick before we kick things off. Mr. Gomi is in the house. He's snoozing over here. While I'm prepping this, go ahead and grab yourself something to drink, something to eat, maybe something to snack on, and grab yourself something to smoke too. Because as per usual, Mr. Manticore's material is fucking bonkers. But we're here for bonkers. That's what we do. We love bonkers. I mean, if you're not here for bonkers, why are you here? Don't answer that. I'm just glad you are here. I'm not sure what this is, whether it's lamb's bread or jungle runts, but I do have some really nice concentrates. Courtesy of Lowe. Thank you very much, sir. Haha. Let's get this. So, as far as the shop goes, we have been doing very, very well. We had a record-breaking day today, on top of a fairly record-breaking week. Our day-over-day averages are going up, which means we're doing something right. Mr. Doss, we did good today. He was on duty. And by the way, the Rat Pack Clubhouse will be open tomorrow on Christmas Day. John will be in, so if you want to go say hi, or if you need to get something for the day's festivities, we are open. Regular hours, 11 to 10, so you have plenty of time to get down there. I actually might go there myself just to say hi. Maybe when I go to pick up Miss Ashante for the festivities, we'll stop by the shop. My mom's not going to be able to make it this year. She's fighting off cold and flu that's pretty nasty. She's okay, but she's not going to be making it over tomorrow, I don't think. Maybe I'll see her for New Year's or something like that. Yes. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's boogie. There we go. All right, so the Mr. Manticore Power Hour. Engage. Damn, repeat it, damn. Scolding you like during mission. So this, I assume, is the teaser for season 2 of the Monument Mythos. Let's bro. Take the music. September 1st, 2023. Go ahead and damn it. Parasite rocket. What the fuck? So very strange.
Now, scattered across Japan are huge statues of the Buddhist goddess Kannon. Today, most have fallen into disrepair, sparking growing concerns among local communities. NHK Rules Matsuba Tsubasa.
For example, tall buildings are required to use lights so aircraft can fly safely at night. This statue has not been lit up for a long time.
We just received the former president's mugshot. We want to show that to you here. John, do we think the former president will weaponize this image to help him with fundraising? You mentioned this earlier, but to what point? And will it work in gaining support for his 2024 campaign?
When I saw the image just a couple moments ago, it reminded me of Donald Trump's book cover that he released in 2015.
The threat is the most powerful weapon known to man. It alone has maintained peace and prosperity on this great planet. But I don't use the threat. I don't touch it all the time. Everywhere I go, they ask me, Donald, why don't you threaten them? That's the only way they'll listen. And I tell them the truth. I don't use the threat because I respect the threat. The less I use it, the more powerful it becomes. The threat alone ended World War II forever. It's true. Ask the Japanese.
So the parasite and the monuments. It's a distinctly American weapon, I guess. If you or you or a loved one has been affected by Operation Seed, you may be entitled to compensation. Mm. And 1 second, and we'll go to the next one. Let me just sorry. It was wishing a couple people Merry Christmas and all that stuff. All right, back at it.
To answer. If someone is singled out, you get 30 seconds to respond. And when the time runs out, we all will hear this. Very pleasant.
So tonight, these candidates have a big opportunity to break out of the pack and to explain why they are best prepared to be the Republican choice for president.
Now, I have to go back to work on my State of the Union speech. And I worked on it till pretty late last night. But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never. These allegations are false, and I need to go back to work for the American people. Thank you.
What the fuck? I remember that. I remember that when that was on television.
Another issue. This weekend, reports say there were 30 shootings, and a number of them including kids. Add that to the big increase in school shootings around the country. Democrats blame this crisis on easy access to guns. They also blame Republicans for blocking gun control legislation. What would President Christie do?
I do like how he's mixing modern American events into the mythos. It's cool.
Well, it is an extraordinarily good question with not a lot of great answers. So first off, I'm not going to stand up here and tell you, oh, just elect me and I'll solve that problem for you, because we've had too much of that in this country.
Terrible answer. Yeah, at least he's honest about it.
Well, the criminals are going to get those. I think what you've got to look at are those with mental health issues, and that's a focal point. We want to keep them out of the hands of those that can do this kind of harm.
I mean, not only does the media too often ignore, but they also won't tell the whole story about firearms in America. I mean, think about it. They focus on the tragedies and the heartbreak.
I'm not going to let you accuse me of committing criminal activity. I am not going to take that. I am not going to take that. So you want to have a civil conversation, that's one thing. Try to say that.
We are the pioneers who came to this country.
to be free, to be the explorers, to roam the American terrain without any government telling them what they could or couldn't do. And the reason we're able to do it is because of the existence of that Second Amendment. Now, I'll tell you, you hear from the other side that, well, we have school shootings in this country. We have mass shootings. I'll tell you, we have a mental health epidemic across America. You better take away. You want to sell all the drugs on the street?
That was a little bit disjointed and unhinged, but
we are South Carolinians who love our guns, who love to hunt, who love to use it as a sport, and we appreciate it. And any company that decides to manufacture here, we're going to welcome them.
Wait, what was that in the... So that's the debate even, I guess? Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with the guy up here. Alice going from horror analog creator to political shit poster is not what I expected for 2023, but I'm not complaining either. Yeah, as the saying goes, I'm gonna let him cook. So let's go see what else is up here.
You get a lot of crisis over 37 years. It's just life, right? Nowadays, it's my routine to book a flight to America whenever I'm paralyzed with anxiety. I always tell myself, soon I'll get so sick of these trips that I'll condition myself out of any more crises. But the truth is, I can't stop going to the States. The other day I went for a walk in Florida and I had a massive revelation. I was the right age and my parents' military service backed my citizenship. I thought to myself, a lot of history's happened since I was born, but since he's all grown up now, what if little Rob had a say?
It sounds to me that I'm not the only one that did some motherfucking psychedelics this year.
What if little Rob had a say?
On the first day of work, I realised the reality of all things. No one's here to help you. Nobody wants to make your life easier. Hate and anger thrive in Washington. Gossip is widespread. And everything should be taken personally. There's a mouth whispering your name behind every corner. If heaven is a room filled with silence and devoid of people, I quickly realised that I must maintain the Oval Office like this. It's the only place where I can be left alone. But the memories of this room stain every surface. Cigar ash, Coca-Cola cans. This is the dirtiest room in the White House because every president has asked for silence. This means there's no maintenance, no janitors. The waste that's made is left behind. But maybe there's hope. Maybe there's still respect left in the world. I checked the underside of the Resolute desk. There's dried gum underneath.
Says that celebrities should stay at home. They say we should kick back and relax while the world burns. They say we must leave the world to the Democrats. Then the Democrats scream when a celebrity has had enough. I say we've had enough. I support any celebrity who decides to run. We understand the world more than the sick sheep who currently run the country. I say every celebrity should run. They're fine people, and we would vote for only the best, like me. There are probably people better than me. We just have to look for them. Survival of the fittest. Personally, I think Rob Pattinson would be great.
Fucking crazy. I mean, crazier things have happened. I mean, we had a cowboy for our president, so. noticed he's got more live action sequences in here too.
This is Mr. Squirrel. He's my ESA. Oh. It was a weird day because it had started off pretty well. I had an exam and I thought that I did really well on it despite not really thinking that I would. And I just remember going out to the parking lot before I headed home. I saw people that I knew, but I was by myself that day. And then I got a text, and the text just was off. There was just something off about it, even though it was exactly the same kind of text I'd received before, but to receive it at that time of day saying, hey, we should talk. And then I get home and I'm just greeted with a terrible, gloomy silence. Because I walk in and I'm like, yeah, my day went pretty well. And then hearing, oh, you don't know. You know, it's hard to proceed from that, knowing that whatever you don't know is definitely worse than not knowing.
I'm Leonard Moreland, and I've watched the animated diagram. So we had sat down and the projector started and we were watching it. Animated diagram first consisted of, it looked like two giant shapes almost interacting with each other. Then the next frame was an oval slowly expanding. And as it started expanding, there's another oval coming out of it. Very weird. And then it started cutting back to the two other shapes interacting with each other. There was another shape that had followed behind, a gray circle. It was very off-putting, but immediately after that gray circle came out, I heard a loud bang behind me. I was confused, so I looked behind me, and in the conference room, somebody had slammed their head against the desk. And as I could see from just the position I was in, the only one who could, I can just see directly into his eyes. It was hard to explain, but there's no life behind those eyes. There's no soul, existence, or anything behind it. And it was just, God, horrifying, to say the least. And as that had happened, they had started calling in doctors and nurses into the room. But before you knew it, another person from the other side of the room started saying they felt sick, they felt, woozy. And then before you know it, someone else on the other side said the same thing. They're about to pass out. It started affecting almost everyone around me. And, more doctors and nurses had to get called in. And I just remember they had these clear packages with the doctors and nurses. I didn't know what was in there. but it was clear so I could see through them, but it was something they were giving them to help them come back. What affected everyone else hadn't affected me, but I knew there was something wrong with it. Whatever we were shown in that diagram was not meant for us to consume. I, walked out of the conference room and just kind of didn't know where else to go from there. It almost kind of seemed funny when you look back on it, but as of today, I'm still not affected by the diagram. I've noticed no change whatsoever.
Yeah, I told you psychedelics. So I assume he was supposed to die. He did not. It's just somebody's backyard. That's pretty cool. Well, yeah, she's been active for a while. So are they trying to recreate what happened like before?
See over the microphones. We all in? Thank you. Thank you for being here. As you may notice, my voice is a little hoarse after working through the night. As you all know, last night, locals, county, state, and federal law enforcement officers from around the state of Maine responded to reports of an active shooter.
Remember the mugshot? Everyone remembers the mugshot. But I haven't told you the story of the movie. You'll love this. While I was in Fulton County Jail, I was treated like everyone else at first. But then the guard said, "Donald, it's going to be a long time before we can take your photo. At least a few hours. We got a lot of other prisoners ahead of you. You gotta wait, just like the rest of them." And I'm an okay guy, so I said, "Not a problem. What can I do to pass the time?" And you know what she said? She said, "Mr. President, I got a movie for you." I don't think the other prisoners watched movies because they took me to an empty room with one projector. Dust everywhere. Nobody else was in there. I didn't ask questions. I just sat in one of their chairs and the movie started. It wasn't Hollywood. Maybe A24, I don't know. All I know is that it was the most horrendous, awful, disgusting propaganda I'd ever seen. I don't even want to call it science fiction, but it was. Terrible science fiction. Horrible cast. Rob Pattinson was in it. I can't even remember the title. It was American Dream or some no-good nonsense like that. Movie was so bad my head started to hurt. I literally got dizzy. Whole room was spinning. I called in the guard and she let me skip the rest. A few minutes later I got my picture taken. I'd rather get another mugshot than watch that movie again. Later, I was told that the movie was an art project by one of the guard's kids, and the department wanted to show me. I was frank with the guard. I told her, "You got one messed up kid, lady. Totally sick in the head. Probably should see a doctor." She laughed. Nobody took me seriously there. Today, everyone tells me that this movie doesn't exist. But I saw it. I saw it loud and clear in Fulton County Jail.
This whole sequence that we've been watching is very creepy. Even the political stuff. Oh, that's fucking disturbing. clickbait demon. And the last one, guys, for the evening. Virginia's
Have you ever had a moment when you realized that the rest of your life was ruined? I hope you haven't, but if you have, I understand. I was born on Christmas Day in 1983. I always wished I was born 3 years earlier.
It's also a very good.
I like perfect numbers, like 80.
Me too.
1983 is not a perfect number. Only one thing of interest occurred on my birthday. Joan Miró, the Spanish artist, died at the age of 90. 90 years old, can you imagine? 90 years of happiness would have been paradise. But not for Joan. Joan was a very sad man. He painted to stay alive. He often drew ladders to express his desire to escape. But I have a bad family history with ladders. When I was 3, I threw my mother's jewelry into the chandelier above. I wanted to see what she would do. She yelled at me and called my father over. "Don't worry," he told us. "I'll get the ladder." As she brought the ladder into the room, Mother stood frowning in the corner with her arms crossed. When Father got to the top step, he reached for the jewelry in the chandelier. Then the ladder began to tip. He held on to the chandelier. The ladder fell to the floor. My mother ran to help him. The chandelier fell and crushed them both. I hid in the corner of the living room. I couldn't dare to turn around. I couldn't see what else had exploded behind me. I just couldn't. I can't touch jewelry anymore, and I don't care to wear it.
I feel you on the not wearing jewelry. Good advice. I'll be right back.
is Richard Tillman, and I was the director of the Walt Disney Home for Children. When Virginia came to us, she was still in a state of immense shock. Notably, she refused to be assigned to the girls' quarters. Among the others, Virginia quickly became the subject of pranks and gossip. We didn't know if it was the way she dressed, or the way she walked, or spoke, or slept. All we knew was that her presence deeply affected the others. Their discomfort was irrational, of course. Irrational and irreparable. Eventually we decided it was best for her to have a separate room, away from the others. That's when she started collecting the wood. We didn't know for weeks, of course, but Virginia often snuck into the woods behind the orphanage at recess. We thought all the children stayed away from the trees, but there were piles of wood in her room. In the last weeks of her stay, Virginia began a construction project. Small houses in the corners of the orphanage. When her parents passed, she was found by her neighbors, hiding in the corner of the living room. I thought these corner homes were related. She'd sit and read in them all the time. We had no idea how she could fit inside those things. None of the other children could get in. I don't really know how to tell you what I saw when I was inside. It was kind of like a maze. In total, she built 18 of these homes before she disappeared. Since then, Virginia's become a bit of an urban legend around here. I don't believe those little homes did anything. But she was last spotted reading in the 18th home. We never did find that one. Only the last 17.
What the fuck?
I understand.
Hi, my name is Leonard Moreland. I have a story to tell. At one point, I was walking into my bathroom, and as I set my belongings down, I turned the corner, and I noticed this thing on the wall. It was right above the light switch. It had a shadow that was bigger than the wall. It had multiple legs all stuck onto the wall, and they were bendy. It looked like an out-of-place Halloween decoration. And as I stood there and noticed it, it just didn't move. I was frozen in fear. I didn't know what to do. I held onto my belongings and just stared. What felt like an eternity. I grabbed my belongings and ran out. And as I sat in my living room, breathing, hyperventilating, about to faint, every limb in my body started slowly. I couldn't feel my feet, couldn't feel my legs, couldn't feel my hands, couldn't feel my arms. And as I just sit down, I just feel like parts of my body slowly wither away as I just witnessed this thing on my wall, this creature. And then within the next day I checked, it was gone. I have no idea where it went, and I fear that one day I will see it again.
Fucking creepy. I imagine you would be checking every fucking wall and corner and right, ladies and gentlemen. So that was the current timeline of events in the Monument Mythos timeline, I guess, for lack of a better description. If you like what you see, keep checking back on Mr. Manticore's page. He's got a lot of stuff already that you can sink your teeth into. We've covered most of this stuff before, so feel free to look at it yourself. But I hope you enjoyed the Mr. Manticore Power Hour, or the Monument Mythos Power Hour, or whatever. I haven't decided the title yet. Yeah, that was really cool. And bonkers, and intricate, and a bit introspective on Alex's part. I mean, he's doing most of this for his in memory of his dad anyway, so there is a very personal thread running through all of the videos, like through the themes. So yeah, thank you for joining me. I hope you have an excellent Christmas. I will see you tomorrow on stream, and I will probably see you on New Year's Eve as well. So have a great night, guys. Be safe, be happy, be healthy. I love you all. And I'll see you in the next one.